Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today, I'll teach you a lesson from your Behive book. This is lesson 3, The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield. Before I start, I would like to give you the introduction about the chapter The Little Girl. The title of the story refers to the main character that we come across, that is a little girl named Kezia. Now, the theme of the story is the relationship between children and their parents, and writer Catherine Mansfield wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. Although when children are small, when they are young, they do not feel that their parents love them because their parents are strict and many actions of the parents seemed unjustified. But as children grow up, they realize that their parents did all the acts that were beneficial for their children. The parents were concerned for them, and beneath the strictness lies a heartful love for the children, and this bond of love between the parents and their children has been highlighted through this story. Now, let us read the story. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. A figure to be feared means a person to be feared. And who is the figure to be feared here? Kezia's father. So, he refers to Kezia's father, and the little girl is Kezia. So, the opening lines of the story is indicating the fear that Kezia has for her father. And as she is fearful of her father, she tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." So, every morning before going to work, Kezia's father would visit her in her room and give her a casual kiss. And in reply, Kezia would say, "Goodbye, father." So, this action of Kezia's father shows his love for Kezia. And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Glad sense of relief means feeling relaxed. Fainter and fainter means to lessen or to reduce. Carriage like horse carts were means of conveyance used in olden times. So, here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for her father. The writer says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away from home and he was leaving home, and the sound became fainter and fainter, that means the sound reduced. Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She would feel relief that her father had left. Now, why did she feel relief? Because she feared her father. She was afraid of him, and so she was relieved when he left home. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. In the evenings, when Kezia's father would return home, she would hear his loud voice, and this loud voice against made her afraid of him. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. So, as Kezia's father returned home, he would start ordering all different things. He would order that the tea be served to him in the drawing room. He wanted the newspaper. He would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there outside the house, and he would ask her to get up, get him his sleeper also. Kezia, mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boot. Kezia, Kezia's mother would call out to her and ask her to remove her father's boot in order to make her obey. She would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Slip down means come down quietly and unwillingly. So, again we see Kezia's fear for her father. That is why she would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. Unwillingly because she did not want to face her father. She feared him. By that time, he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Now, just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa wearing his spectacles, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles. And now, the way he looked at her terrified her. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Kezia was reluctant in her work. She was slow in her motion, and so her father would tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. I didn't know, father. And Kezia replied she did not know. So, why was she stammering? Because she was not confident. A person is not confident when he has any feeling of fear. You didn't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. So here Kezia's father is coping her, and he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stutter like that, then her mother would have to take her to the doctor for a checkup. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was terrifying so hard to say the words properly. So here the writer tells us that Kezia never stammered. while she spoke to other people. It was only when she talked to her father that she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly and she stammered. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Wretched means unhappy or sad. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. And suicide means kill oneself. Now, Kezia's father looks at her. He feels that something is wrong with her and he asked her why she is so unhappy. And then he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way and she would not appear as if she is so unhappy that she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. He hands her his teacup and asks her to place it back on the table. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Here, this is the feeling, this is the vision that Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was so big, he was just like a giant. And the writer says that Kezia felt that his hand and his neck and his mouth were all so huge, especially when he yawned. It seemed as if he was a huge monster. And whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So, every Sunday during the afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent her downstairs to the drawing room in order to spend time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushion, sleeping soundly and snoring. Here, snoring means the sound produced by some people when they are asleep. So, here we feel that Kezia felt a bit neglected. Every Sunday afternoon, when she went to her parents to meet them in the drawing room and have a nice talk with them, they were busy doing their own things. Her mother was busy reading and her father was busy sleeping and snoring. So, Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind. They did not talk with her, they didn't spend time with her. On the other hand, they were busy doing on their own things. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Gravely means seriously. So all the while Kezia's father was asleep, she would just sit on a stool and watch him carefully till the time he would wake up and stretch his body and then would ask the time and look at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring at him just like an owl does. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Now, Kezia was not well. She had a cold, so she was supposed to stay at home. So her grandmother suggested that as she was at home and her father's birthday was approaching, she could make a birthday gift for him. She asked Kezia to make a pin cushion for him, and she also gave her a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the cushion. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the girl stitched three sides. Laboriously means with a lot of effort or difficulty. Kezia put in lot of effort to make the birthday gift. She used double cotton. Here, double cotton refers to a thread, and she stitched three sides of the cushion. But what to fill it with? That was the question. Now, Kezia had prepared the bag shape of the cushion. She had to stitch the fourth side, and before that, she had to fill the cushion with something, and she did not know what to fill the cushion with. The grandmother was out in the garden, and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. Wandered into means went into. Scraps means small pieces of cloth or paper, etc., that are not needed. So, Kezia was confused that what should she use to fill the cushion with. As her grandmother was out in the garden and she was just looking for something, she reached her mother's bedroom. She was looking for bits of paper or cloth to stuff into the cushion. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuffed her case. Then sewed up the fourth side. Now, Kezia is a small little girl. She is very young. Now, what she do? On the bed table, she found a heap of sheet of paper. So, she just gathered all the sheets, then tore them and stuffed those pieces of paper into the cushion. And then she stitched the fourth side of the cushion, and she had prepared a birthday gift for her father. So many of you can relate to Kezia's act. Many children do such things unknowingly. They do not intend to create any mischief or harm anyone, but they end up doing it. Now, Kezia has torn some important papers. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Hue and cry means angry protest. Now There was a lot of shouting in the house because Kezia's father had prepared a speech for the authority for a particular meeting and he was unable to find it. Now, we all know where the speech has gone. It has been torn into tiny pieces and Kezia has stuffed it into the cushion. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Now, the family searched everywhere. They asked the servant, but no one knew where the sheets of paper had gone. And finally, the mother reached the Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some paper on a table in our room? Oh, yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. Now, here we get to see that Kezia is an innocent girl. She did not intend to harm anyone. She was just preparing her birthday gift. And so, very truly, she tells her mother that she found some pieces of paper and she as she needed them to stuff into the cushion, so she torn them and prepared her surprise gift. That is a birthday gift that she had prepared for her father. Unknowingly, Kezia had done a great disaster. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. Now, Kezia's mother is so furious when she come to know that Kezia has torn the speech that her father is looking for. And so she orders Kezia to come down into the dining room at that very movement. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. Now, Kezia's father is full of tension as his important document has been lost. Kezia has torn it into pieces. Now, Kezia will be scolded for the mischief that she had done. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, 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 she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. The damn thing means used to express anger at something. Now, why is Kezia's father referring to the cushion that she has prepared as a damn thing? Because he is angry at the cushion because Kezia has torn his important document to prepare it. Now he is very angry with Kezia and he started at her and asked her if she had torn the papers. Kezia was so scared that she was again stammering. And then Kezia's father ordered mother to go and bring that cushion downstairs and ask her to put Kezia to bed at that very moment. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Shadowed room means that as it was dark, there was a little outside, there was a light outside the room which was making shadow in the room. A sad little person refers to the sad atmosphere in the room. Kezia wanted to justify her action as she was innocent. She did not mean to harm her father. She was just preparing a surprise birthday gift for him. Kezia was very sad. She had been happy that she had prepared a surprise for her father and he would like it, but on the other hand, she had accidentally committed a disaster. Then father came into the room with the ruler in his hands. Now he is about to punish Kezia for the wrong act she has done. I am going to beat you for this, he said. Oh, no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. Bedclothes refers to the sheet, the top sheet that you cover yourself when you are sleeping. Now, Kezia's father told her that he would beat her with the ruler. Kezia was so scared that she tried to hide under the sheet. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Now, here we come to know that why Kezia's father was being strict with her. Why was he punishing her? Because he wanted Kezia to know this thing once for all, that she should not touch that thing that does not belong to her. He wanted to teach her this thing so that it benefited in her future life. Right now, she was a small child. She did not know what was important and what was not important. That is why unknowingly she has torn the important documents of her father, and so he was punishing her. He did not want to harm Kezia, but he wanted that Kezia should know that in future she should not touch anything that does not belong to her. But it was for your birthday. Kezia tried to explain her position. She said that she had been preparing a birthday gift for her father and had to stuff it with something. She just tore the pages to stuff them into the cushion. She was trying to explain to him that she was just preparing a birthday gift for him. She wanted to give him a surprise. She did not want to tear him his important document. But Kezia's father did not listen to her excuses. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. Kezia's father hit the palms of her hand with a ruler. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Clung means to attach yourself to something. Now, Kezia was so afraid she had got beating. Her father had hit her small little palms with the ruler, and many hours Later, her grandmother wrapped her in a shawl and was trying to pacify her. She made her sit in her lap on a rocking chair and she was trying to put Kezia to sleep. And Kezia clung to her grandmother. This is all for today, children. We'll do the remaining part of the story in the next session. Till then, keep revising the course and stay safe. Thank you.